Hey, what's up, gang? We're down here on the Las Vegas Strip again, and this time we're going to get our first impressions of FSD 12.6.3. We just got this version a couple hours ago. It looks like it was the first wave that went out, and we're going to test it out and see how it compares to all the previous 12.6 versions. The release notes look the same, so I don't see anything new here. So it looks to be just bug fixes and maybe some polishing. So we'll go ahead and head out now and do our normal route that we've been testing all of 12.6 versions on, and see if we can see any differences. First up, we're heading to the Sphere, and we're at the Circus parking lot. I'm going to go ahead and engage, and we'll start our trip. Okay, navigation has us going left here. Previous two versions have gone right and kind of got us in a little weird loop inside this parking lot. That looks to be resolved in this version so far. So unprotected left, creeping forward, and it's clear. So the first version of 12.6 that I received was 12.6.1. We came down here, did this route. We had a couple disengagements, a couple interventions that were required. Then I got the 12.6.2 version and came down and did the same route, and 0 disengagements, 0 interventions. So 12.6.2 has been great for me the past couple weeks. And then tonight we're getting 12.6.3. So we'll see if we can continue these flawless drives. Okay, we did have a gap there, but I like that it waited and didn't rush it. We should be able to go after this car. And now we got the green light. Okay, now we're up here at the Wynn Hotel at Las Vegas Boulevard. We're going to be making a right. We can make a right turn on red here, but we do have pedestrians to the left. I started to hover over the brake there because they're in the intersection. It did stop for them, but I don't like that it started creeping there. Okay. So no more pedestrians. Now we're creeping forward into the crosswalk, looking for a gap to make a right turn, which looks like we'll be able to right now. Well, we had a big enough gap. It could have went, but it's still waiting. We can go now if it wants. Still waiting. So it looks like it was waiting for almost all 3 of these lanes to be cleared before it went. Not sure if that's because we do have a quick left turn up ahead and it's trying to make sure that we can get across all the lanes for the turn, but it was something of notice. We did have some room to make that right turn on red, maybe 20 seconds before we actually did. You can see this left lane is closed right here, and the vehicle did not attempt to get into that lane, so that was good. We do need to turn left at this light. I'm not sure if they are closing down the left turn right now or not, but it'll be interesting to see how the car handles this. Okay, so it looks like this opening is for the left turn right here, so we should go ahead and move over, and the car's doing that perfectly. So that was a pretty interesting scenario that I'm really impressed with, actually, because we did have a sign saying that this was the left, that we could move over for left turn lanes over here, while also having the traffic light truck with the arrows saying keep right. So it knew to follow the sign and not the truck saying keep right. So that was pretty impressive. Really confident left turn, good arc to stay in the correct lane and getting over quickly. I just had to disengage there. The car started going on a red light. Send a snapshot in. Attempting to proceed during a red light. Okay, I'll re-engage. Okay, the car's veering off to the right here instead of staying to the left in the lane. So I'm going to snapshot that as well, especially since we aren't making a right. I'm not sure why it did that. All right, now we're pulling up to the front of the sphere. And once we pull through, I'll set our next destination for the New York hotel. take me to the New York hotel. Okay, let's see what options we have here. Okay, need to disengage there. In order to go straight, we need to stay in this lane. Not keeping in straight lane to continue route and follow navigation. I was hoping we could get a route on the strip, but I guess it's not horrible that we're following this exact same path as last time. So far with 12.6.3, we're seeing a couple regressions here. We had that issue at that red light, which is very unfortunate. I would consider that a critical disengagement. We had that odd behavior in that right lane where it didn't want to keep left aligned and kind of just veered off to the right, hugging the curb as the lane widened to turn into a right turn only lane. But our navigation had us going straight through the light in the intersection, so it shouldn't have done that. And then for the first time, I think ever, even though we updated the route to go to the New York after the Sphere, in the Sphere parking lot, it pulled into the rideshare area instead of going straight. So that's the first time I've seen that. So we've got 2 disengagements so far and no interventions, and a couple snapshots sent in. Going 27 and a 25 here, 28. So it's getting us up to 30 now. Originally started right at 25 in here. So it's a little bit slower than usual, but now picking up speed to kind of a normal traffic aware speed. If there were traffic next to us on these roads, they would be going about 30. Okay, we're pulling up to Flamingo, and this is an area where we can turn right on red. So again, turning into that bus lane for a split second, and then turning out and merging. Really quickly merging to the left to prepare for our next left turn. Very confident and smooth. One difference I am noticing between this hardware 3 Model Y on V12 and my hardware 4 Model Y on version 13 is that the hardware 3 on version 12 does everything a little bit quicker, so it's mainly on city streets. So the speeds, the takeoffs, the approaches are a little bit faster for things. It's something that this is my wife's daily driver that we're in right now, and she has commented on that when she drives my version 13 Model Y. She says she likes that it's a little bit slower and more calm in its decisions. So there's a little bit of something I notice in between the two. As far as performance, outside of these few regressions we've seen today, performance on how it handles situations is very similar. I should mention again that all my testing that I do on this car and my other Model Y, I do in the standard driving profile. Okay, so we just turned on to Tropicana. The destination, the hotel, is up ahead to our right. So normally this would be the correct lane. We do have a lane closure up ahead, so we'll need to merge over to the left one lane. It normally doesn't do this until the very end up here, until it can see and confirm that this lane ends. So we'll see how well it merges with traffic. Perfect. Okay, it looks like we're in the right lane, and traffic is backed up here to the intersection. We do have the right of way, so this car to the right will need to wait for us, but it looks like they'll probably push in. So we'll see how well the car will handle that. If they push in enough, the car will wait for them. There is a small lane to the right up ahead too, but that lane quickly ends and becomes the lane that we're in right now. So it looks like you can see this car right here to our right. They're trying to like pull ahead through there, but there's nowhere they can really go over there. They'll have to merge back into this lane that we're in. They're pulling up ahead, pushing ahead even more. So this will be a good situation to see. If you bully this car enough, they'll let you through, but I like that it did assert itself to only let this one car in. And there's a truck to the right trying to pull in. There's a car on the left trying to pull in. So fairly interesting. A little bit of gridlock here in this area. But we did make it through. We've got a truck trying to merge. This red truck has its right indicator on, trying to merge into this lane. The car in front of it was merging left. Our car is kind of was holding back, but the truck didn't make its move. So looks like we may proceed. Now the truck is starting to come into our lane, but then stop. Very interesting here. We've got an emergency vehicle up ahead, so it's really got this intersection gridlocked. We'll be making a right turn here though, so it shouldn't affect us. Although when we come out of the New York, we will need to deal with this situation again. So it'll be really good to see how well the car handles this. Not sure what's going on. I don't see anything other than just police vehicles blocking everything. All right, let's end this trip. Take me to the Fremont Street experience. All right, so we need to stay in this lane. This is the through lane. This is correct. And we need to stay to the left. All the way to the right is cabs only, taxi lane only. So far, handling this perfectly. So now we just need to see how the car interacts with stopped vehicles and pedestrians as we try to drive through this pull-through area. Looks like the vehicles up ahead will start moving soon. And there we go. So we should just be able to drive through now. And watch out for people. We've got a guy with a luggage cart to the left, so it may hesitate around him. I'm not sure. Now that we're not moving and traffic is moving to the right, the car has put its right turn indicator on. But now we're moving, so it'll probably turn that off. So overall, doing a really good job in here, not just keeping itself stuck. We had somebody push in on us and the car stopped. I do like that it put the right indicator on though, and was looking for another way to get through this as we were stopped for quite a while behind that vehicle. Overall, really impressed with how it handled the entrance to the New York. Slowing a little for that speed bump. Here we usually typically see our double stop, one at the crosswalk, which was a little bit back and forth, like it almost didn't know if it was going to stop. And then this time not stopping at the stop sign, which I've seen it do that before, but it hasn't done. This is the first time I've seen that on version 12.6. There was nobody there, no real issues, and we had already stopped, maybe 4 feet behind the stop sign at that crosswalk, so I don't really feel like I need to send anything in there or disengage. It's pretty much a stop for that area. Although, in a perfect world, all right, we're getting waved through. That's good. The car handled that correctly, actually. We were at a stop sign, and the traffic controller was waving us through, so the car did not stop and just completely followed the taxi ahead of us. That was really impressive. I have not seen that before, I don't think. Okay, this will be interesting. I'm going to keep my foot over the brake. No turn on red here, so we need to just wait. I've got pedestrians here as well. Okay, so it's clear and I don't feel the car inching forward. I'm pretty confident it's not going to turn on red. So pretty sure if it knows to do that, it's probably due to map data. I don't believe it's reading these no turn on red signs yet, but I may be incorrect on that. If anybody from Tesla knows if we have that feature yet, that would be nice to know. Or anybody else, if you know that, comment below. Okay, we've got a green light and pedestrians still in the crosswalk. Perfectly waited for them. And then we'll be turning back on Tropicana up ahead into the chaos. So we'll see how it handles this. I think every time so far it's wanted to keep us in this right turn only lane. Okay, we need to yield. We've got somebody doing a U-turn. Then it's clear. Got another U-turn actually, and then it's clear. Perfect. So we do need to get over one lane to the left here. And it does it. Nice. Okay. So it looks like this is fixed. The last 12.6.2 did this as well. It got out of that right turn lane. So it must know now that this is a right turn lane. So that was perfect. It looks like the police that were blocking this intersection are gone now. So now we're going to hop on the highway and test out the end-to-end highway portion of the drive. We'll be hopping onto I-15 on Tropicana, heading down to, if you're from Vegas, you're familiar with the Spaghetti Bowl. That's a big highway interchange down by downtown Las Vegas, and then we'll be heading to the Fremont Street experience. So far, end-to-end highway on the 12.6 versions have been really good for me. No issues really at all. I think my wife has mentioned a couple on version 12.6.1 and maybe the first couple trips on 12.6.2 there was an exit that it would miss for her, but no longer does. But other than that, me personally, I haven't noticed really any issues. There's a common navigation bug up ahead, where right now you can see in the navigation it says 1.8 miles all to drive. We won't be exiting there. We will continue straight there, which is what the navigation is telling us to do, and then we will be, the navigation, once we get to that area, the navigation will switch to saying that we need to take 95 south. But because of this, sometimes there is an exit right there, and sometimes it'll get us all the way over into the exit lane and then pull us out of the exit lane. So we'll see if it does that. That's something that also does on version 13 still in this area. I never need to intervene or disengage. It always corrects itself and gets out of the exit only lane, but it is kind of an annoyance and something that I will mark again, and hopefully we can get that fixed in this area. Okay, so right here we need to keep here and stay in this right lane and not get into the exit only lane, which so far it looks like it's going to do. So if it does this, that means it is either fixed, or for some reason in this scenario is not getting mixed up and into that exit only lane. I'm really hoping that's fixed. So yeah, that's awesome. So far, perfectly handling the highway section. Lastly, we will need to stay here for 95 south towards downtown Las Vegas and transfer highways here. Interesting decision to get over here, as that lane needed to merge back over to the left. Nothing I needed to intervene with. It's just something it shouldn't have done. Okay, this is our exit. We've got a keep left truck up ahead. A truck stopped with the keep left sign, so I didn't get confused by that at all. Really good speed for this exit ramp. And now we're pulling up towards Fremont Street. I'm going to go ahead and end our trip here because I don't want us to stop on the side of the road up ahead. And we'll wrap this up at the record store like we usually do. Take me to 11th Street Records. I'm going to end that because it's going to try to turn us left here. I want us to drive through this intersection first, and then we'll try that again. Take me to 11th Street Records. Okay, perfect. So now we're driving through the Fremont Street experience. We need to watch out for pedestrians. We have a green light, so nobody should be walking out, but it does happen. Okay, here we'll be making a left turn. Last time we did turn into the center lane here, so we'll see what the car does. It still kind of did, so I'll mark that. Kind of half turned into the left turn only. There was a car coming, so it got out of it pretty quick. It's not going to drive into a car, so if there's a car in the way, it's going to go around no matter what. But that is still an issue right there. It's not understanding that that center lane is a turn lane. Really quick decision on that yellow. So it gave us time for a really smooth stop at this red light. That was perfect. Okay, now we'll be turning right onto Fremont Street towards Fremont East. And this is a good area to test as well, as there's going to be a ton of pedestrians crossing over. There's a lot of bars here, a lot of food joints here. Looks like we do have cones today, but you can see we get a lot of people walking in the street. There's a crosswalk here. This guy stopped, so we're proceeding through. But if he continued, we would have stopped. So I'm not sure if I want to mark that. The guy did stop in the middle of the street. But typically, even if they stop in a crosswalk, if there's a pedestrian in a crosswalk, we need to stop. Another yellow light, reacting right away, and a smooth stop. I felt the there's a couple red lights here. As it's about to go green, I can almost feel the car letting off the brake a little bit and rocking forward a tiny bit, right, like a split second before it goes green. So I wonder if that behavior, that preemptive trying to take off right at the green, is what affected that red light up ahead. It started to pull off to the right there, back away, and now doing it. Kind of an awkward stop here. We are this time pulling into the parking spots here, which is good. We are just angled and taking up 2 spots, but it did attempt to park in the parking spots here. So that's pretty good. That's new. It's closed, so I'll just go ahead and keep us here. We'll do a quick recap. There were a couple regressions on this. Like I said, that red light is the main one that we want to look out for if you do get this version. If it does go a lot wider, keep an eye out for the red lights. It did proceed on one where I needed to tap the brake and disengage. We also had a little bit of weird lane behavior on that wide lane that opened up into a right turn only lane. We needed to go straight. Navigation had us going straight, and we got back to the left when it did turn into 2 lanes, but through that whole situation, it should have just stayed left aligned in that lane. So that didn't require any intervention or disengagement, but I did mark that it was awkward behavior. The second disengagement we had was in the Sphere parking lot. It did get confused, and instead of going straight through the coned area like it normally does, it started to pull over to the right to the rideshare pull-off area. So I did need to disengage there. Other than that, all of the navigational issues that were around in like 12.6.1, no longer seeing in .2. If you watch that video, my last video before this, it was flawless. It was amazing. No issues at all. So all the navigation that was fixed in that one, still here for this one. Really good job. Highway sections, really good. No issues there at all. Almost flawless, except for that weird attempting to get over to the right into a lane that was ending and merging left. No intervention needed or anything, but just another like weird, awkward, why did it do that? But yeah, so this is my first drive with 12.6.3. I will try to get out again on this version on the strip down here. We'll do a different route. I'd just like to do the same route for the first impressions so that we can kind of analyze it across each version and see what the differences are. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.